Mm, mm, mm. Well, here we go again. Let's talk about it, y'all. Megan Thee Stallion is now all of a sudden become public enemy number one because the Barbz and a lot of the other Megan contractors and all of a sudden anti-Megan Thee Stallion people are thinking that she dissed Nicki Minaj recently in an interview where she praised Beyonce and Cardi B. Now, people were hitting me up saying, yo, Have, you got to talk about this. Look at Megan shading Nicki Minaj. When they asked her about her influences, the only people she mentioned was Beyonce and Cardi B. So I went and researched, and that is not completely true. When you take the question into context, the question was asked about working with Beyonce and working with Cardi B. The question never mentioned Nicki Minaj. So Megan was just reacting to the question at hand. And she gave Beyonce praise. She said, Beyonce was the standard. It's the standard to work with someone like Beyonce. And Beyonce is the OG, and she's somebody that you dream about being like when you grow up. When you grow up, you want to be like Beyonce. And who isn't going to answer that question like that? On top of that, Beyonce from Houston, Megan from Houston. So you know everybody growing up in Houston, Beyonce is like the idol. Somewhere from Houston that came out and made it to the top of the chain. She's on top of her game, the top of the game, and she's from Houston. So of course Megan's going to praise Beyonce. And on top of that, she had a number one with her this year. So I don't think it was so much shading Nicki Minaj because she mentioned Beyonce. Beyonce was on her record this year. As far as her mentioning Cardi and not Nicki, well, let's be honest. To date, Cardi B is giving her biggest record. WAP is Megan's featured on it. WAP is Megan's biggest record to date. And Beyonce gave her second biggest record. So, and on top of that, WAP is fresher. It was this year. And I really don't think that people really cared that she mentioned Cardi B. I think people care more about how much she praised Cardi B. If she would have said, yeah, the Cardi experience wasn't that great. I didn't really like working with Cardi. All the bars would be laughing and saying, yes, Megan, yes. I think it's the fact of what she said about Cardi B. And people get mad, but every person that works with Cardi B, with the exception of Nick, say it's a pleasurable experience. And when they meet her, they say her personality is infectious. I mean, people's going to have to finally get that out their head and just stop being mad about it. Cardi B is people, she's fun to be around. I mean, every single person that's met her that I know that I spoke to is like, she's a joy to be around. Her personality, this, that. I mean, hasn't that always been the thing about Cardi? People talk about her personality. Nicki, in my opinion, that was more of a business move anyway. You think Nicki Minaj is sweating Megan Thee Stallion? You think Nicki cares that Megan didn't mention her? Nicki doesn't care. The Barbz care way more than Nicki. Nicki Minaj has been in this game long enough to know she was on the defense. You can tell the whole entire time with Megan, she was on the defense because she never expected Megan to give her praise like that and to join her on that live. So Nicki looked at it as, yeah, we're going to do the record. And, thank you for showing praise. Nicki Minaj never considered Megan Thee Stallion, nor would she ever consider Megan Thee Stallion as her friend. You know what Nicki's sitting back saying? Oh, I expected this. It's expected. I just think that Megan, right now, she's the topic of discussion. She's pretty much at the top of the game in female hip hop. And now people who wanted and begged for her to get on these platforms, people who begged, hey, check out Megan Thee Stallion. Forget about Nicki Minaj. Let's not forget, the only reason people started going and gravitating to Megan is because the Cardi B situation, she knocked Nicki out the box, right? But then, when people started realizing, you know what? Cardi doesn't write her own music. And Nicki keeps bringing that up. So, and she has a point. So we now have to go get a girl who's just as attractive, sexy, natural, because Cardi has enhanced parts as well, so we can't use that angle. See, all this was another plan. So we can't use that angle, so let's go get somebody natural. And somebody who writes their own music. So now, Nicki can't keep throwing that on her head, because she writes her own rhymes too. We'll get a college girl, or we'll promote the fact that she's in college, so now she's educated, even though I never really believed that she was enrolled in college. I believe that all of that, this is just my opinion, I believe all of that was a ploy and part of the Megan Thee Stallion rollout. She's a college student and a rapper. What happened to Megan's classes? She graduate? What happened? You don't see her talking about school anymore, right? So I believe all of that was a part of the rollout. This educated girl who writes her own lyrics and still, stays in school. Natural, her body. So all of that stuff to me was a ploy just to find someone to pit against Nicki. Nicki Minaj knows that. So I don't think that Megan, who to me I believe is a generally good person, but she's now under Roc Nation. She's being controlled by Roc Nation. And maybe people should dig a little deeper and think, maybe that's Roc Nation who's controlling Megan right now. You're going to get into an interview. They're controlling her interviews, and you're only going to be allowed to ask her certain things. Maybe the interviewer did ask about Nicki Minaj, and maybe Roc Nation said, we're not going to ask her about that woman. You got to dig deeper. Megan is not really controlling her career right now. Roc Nation is. And like I told people, Jay and Beyonce, I don't care how many congratulations Beyonce sends, Jay-Z has a problem with Nicki Minaj. And I mentioned it, and it was mentioned on the blog, that Beyonce is mentoring Megan Thee Stallion. What did Megan say? Jay-Z and Beyonce text me almost every day. She sends me inspirational things. She sends me little life messages. Because Beyonce is mentoring Megan Thee Stallion, like I told y'all. So if Jay-Z and Beyonce is putting all their chips, moving all their Megan chips to the middle of the table? You think they're gonna have her in a interview praising Nicki Minaj? And on top of that, the question did not ask for an answer that brought Nicki into the answer. So I don't think Megan is shading Nicki Minaj. I believe that it is just more fuel for the Megan haters who have now just come out of nowhere. This girl is now all of a sudden public enemy number one. And don't say, oh, it's because of the case. When all of a sudden has Tory Lanez become the poster boy for defense of men? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. It's your boy Hollywood. Megan Thee Stallion, public enemy number one all of a sudden. We out.